Bye-bye. So are you ready? You want me to get rolling?
Yeah, you get rolling. I'll let people in if people come in late. Otherwise, you got the floor.
Okay, cool. All right, hey guys. Thank Eric and Scott for having me on. My name's PJ Gibbs. I'm the defensive coordinator at Palmetto Ridge High School in Naples, Florida. I'll be starting my 21st year of coaching this fall. I was in New Jersey for 14. Decided I wanted to stop shoveling snow in 2015, so we moved down here. Took a job at Gulf Coast High School, and I was a DC there for 3 years, and had an opportunity to win the district championship, the first in history of the school. Won some state championships in New Jersey at Manasquan High School and conference championships, and coached a bunch of good kids and worked with a bunch of good guys. So been involved with USA football since 2008. I've been a master trainer since 2015. I've been involved in the national team program since 2015. The last 3 years as a head coach, 2 for U17 US, and then this past January I was head coach for they asked me to be the head coach of the Japanese national team. So I was honored to do that, and we ended up shocking the world and winning that game 28-20. That was the one out of if we played them 10 times, we got them the one time, so that's all I care about at the end of the day. So I'm going to go through our 2, 3, and 4 down pressure packages. I'm a big fan of what best fits your personnel. So like if something tonight you guys like, and if there's anything that you want to talk about in further detail, I know Eric put out there. This is my Twitter handle. If you guys are on Twitter, you guys can follow me and DM me if you guys have any schematic questions or anything like that. I released my first book, The Right Defense for Your Program. It's on Amazon. I released it on April 11th. And the second one, the volume 2, is coming out June 15th. It's got some really good stuff in it. I got some coaches from all over the country to contribute to it. I got Don Brown, who's a Massachusetts guy. He's a really good friend of mine. He did the forward for both books for me. And Coach Brown's been a tremendous influence on my coaching career. So a lot of the stuff you see tonight is going to have a little bit of Don Brown stuff going on in it. So I'm a big fan of pressure, guys. To be honest with you, in my mind, you're either applying it or you're feeling it. So I want to make the quarterback miserable. I want to make the offensive coordinator miserable. I want them to watch the film in the dark, crying into something, the next day. So that's kind of how I operate. So I'll get into this is kind of our goals and what we talk about. The top equation, I think, is awesome to implement for your defense. S plus T minus X equals W. So for us, that means sacks plus turnovers minus explosive plays equals win. Okay. So obviously defense, we want to get to the quarterback. We want to get sacks. We want to create turnovers. We want to score on defense, and we want to take away explosive plays. So for us, we define an explosive play as any play 15 yards or over. So it's up to you guys how you want to, if you want to do it by the pass, if you want to do it by the run. We've done it in seasons where we say a 15-yard run or a 20-yard pass. We don't want to have that during the game, and that's going to help. That's going to help us win. We talk about all the time, like, don't get complacent. There's things that people like they think because they're doing this that they're becoming great, but somebody's always outworking you. If you want to stay this way, you always got to keep wanting to get better. And if my kids were here, I have to say this about 100 times a day in the weight room when we're lifting, and then on the practice field. You don't wake up to be average. It's easy just to get up and go through the day and, what have you done to get better? What are you going to get? You learned Monday, what are you going to do Tuesday to be better at that? So that's kind of like the mentality we go through with our defense. And then these are our defensive goals. We talk about no traders on defense. We adopted the black shirt defense culture from Nebraska. So one of the things that we stress as a coaching staff is that you must be relentless to the football. And it got to the point in my first year here that we had kids that were seniors that weren't buying into what we're doing, and they were not running to the football. So finally, by the third practice, I had removed, because we have black practice jerseys, I had taken 3 black practice jerseys off seniors, given them white jerseys, and given them to the offense to kind of set the precedent to how we're going to do things here. And then after we started being successful and they kind of wanted back on because we're a 2-platoon team, No, it was like, no, you're not going to, I'm not going to, give you, the honor to be back on this in this unit just because all of a sudden the light bulb went off. And the second to last point, I got that from Eric Chenandler. He's at Nebraska. He used to be at Central Florida here a couple of years back before they left. I found this an interesting stat. If any of you guys are D-line coaches on here or guys that like to send your linebackers, if you have a sack on a drive, an offense has a 93% less of a chance to score. So I think that's an awesome carrot to dangle in front of your defense to say that, hey, we get a TFL, hey, we get a sack. There's a 93% chance they're not going to score. And again, it's all how you want to build your structure, your defense, and things like that. So I think there's some really good things that that we do. And again, take what you guys want and implement whatever you need. And again, I'm here to answer any questions when we get through. Okay, so the 2-down stuff. We'll go over the 2-down stuff first. Now, again, I talked about like personnel, right? Like how does this fit in your personnel? I'm a big simulated pressure guy. We graduate 3 really, really good defensive linemen. We don't have a whole lot coming back. So off season wise, I said to myself, who could we talk to kind of like, fit what we want to do? I was a 4-3 guy growing up. I evolved to the 4-2-5, and now we're going to be an odd front for the first time in the career. This is our nickel package. But you can see, so we have our 2-down linemen. Now, any of you guys see that air raid stuff or the all-American high-low route? This is a great pressure to run against that. If with your tendency report, I would say all these you want to base off your tendency. I'll go through our weather package too. Eric and Scott, when I get done with the 2-down stuff, I'll go through that. But basically for us, we call this nickel rat. All right. So the pressure has to always come to the side of the back. Okay. The pressure always has to come to the side of the back because you want to put the back in conflict. All right. Now, if you look at the diagram, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys up. Okay. It's a 5-man look, but we're only rushing 4. So it's a simulated look. And the one thing I like about the simulated pressures is you're not sacrificing coverage to get after the quarterback. I think it's awesome. It's one of the things that Coach Brown does really well at Michigan is the simulated pressure stuff, and obviously Georgia and Alabama do it really well. But so what you want to do is you're going to be a 0, a 4. You could be a 3 or a 4-eye with this backer. So again, this is our 2-down package. Our jack, body type wise, generally is like a strong safety type. Our Viper is a little bit more athletic. He more so play in space. So on the snap, what we want to do, we're going to take the nose, we're going to get him in this A gap. He's a head up 0 pre-snap. This is a head up 4. He now becomes the contained peel player. Okay. This guy's the backer is going to hit the B gap. This jack is the simulator. So all we want him to do is we want him to step at the tackle's outside shoulder pad to make him step to open up that B gap for that linebacker. And then what we're going to do is we're going to send this linebacker. He's going to go 1-1000 and then go. So now if you think about it from the perspective of the quarterback, he's going to take the snap. He's going to see pressure. But right now he's going to see nobody over the middle of the field because the middle is vacated by this linebacker blitzing. That's exactly what we want. We're showing him open middle pre-snap. We're showing him vacated over route post-snap. Okay? Now, the Viper, we always talk about landmarks in our defense. We all speak the same language. His landmark is to replace the heels of the linebacker and look for the over. I don't care about the under. I tell our kids all the time, that's like wanting to look at Kate Upton with her shirt off. I mean, it's all great to look at it, right? Don't go chasing Kate Upton. All right? Let her go, okay? So this guy's going to work to the over route, and 2 things are going to happen. You're either going to pick the ball off or he's going to separate that guy from the ball with some serious force. Okay? But it's everything you want to do. It's everything you want. He sees open middle, nothing stopping the over route, and then he goes to step and throw, and that Viper is going to step either right in front of that guy or he's going to separate him. Okay? Now, coverage-wise, to the 3-man side, you could do a bunch of different things. You can play your palms. You can play your Tampa. You can play your 2 read. we'll trap or invert to the Viper side. So we'll play trap coverage or we'll invert two, okay? Now, if you're playing it, the other reason I like this pressure is if you're playing an athletic quarterback, this guy can be an aggressive spy on that quarterback. So you're going to simulate him. He's going to step, and now he's going to drop. He's contained peel if that back goes. Okay, but think about it, man. If that back swings, you're 3-on-2, okay? He'll go get the back, but you're going to get a quarterback sack or a pick, all right? You can do that. You can make it an aggressive spy if you're playing an athletic quarterback. But one coaching point I will make is, because we get this all the time, is you guys might see the back now shift before they snap the ball. You're not moving. So for right now, this would be nickel, rat, Ringo for us. Meaning the pressure is Ringo. It's coming to the right, okay? If this guy shifts, all we're doing is checking rat lucky. So now the Viper knows, hey, it's lucky. He knows he's the simulator. The Jack knows he's going to be replacing the linebacker now, which is going here, okay? So again, it's just we're not moving anybody, all right? So again, it's I think that thing it's great because they can shift the back and forth. And now if it's a pistol formation, you have to look at down and distance. Where's the football? What hash is it on? What's the tendency that you're seeing? So you might want to just bring it from the field. You might want to bring it from if it's a right-handed quarterback, you might want to bring the pressure to the quarterback's throwing hand. It's just up to what you guys have in your film breakdown. But again, this is really good against that high-low crossing route. Okay, so this is what we call magic. All right, so this is nickel magic. I would only run this against 3-by-1. Only run this against 3-by-1 open. If it's a nub, I wouldn't run it. Okay. So again, you see our 2 down linemen. All right. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 showing. We're rushing 5. Okay. Really rushing 4 because we have a simulator here and he's dropping in coverage. Okay. So we're going to get the 3 technique in the A gap, the nose in the B gap. This backer is the wrapper. He's the wrapper. So he's the last guy to go. All right. This guy's going on the snap. The Viper's going to step and get out and look to help on number 3. Okay. He's your peel contain. He's your peel contain. Again, the Jack can be your aggressive spy. If you're playing an athletic quarterback, we're going to trap or invert depending on the width of the X here. And again, you can play palms with the safety having 3 control. And again, you're not putting your kids in cover 0 and hoping you get there. You know that you're safe in the back end. And that's why I like this. I like this because even against tunnel screen teams, you're still pretty sound. Okay? And you can even, shoot, if you get a team that likes to run speed option out of this, this is great. Because again, they're going to option the Jack, right? Because here's a back. Now they're going to pitch the ball into a freaking trap corner. That trap corner reads run. It's like a corner blitz. He's coming up and smacking the hell out of that guy. All right? But again, it's what your kids can do, what they understand, and how does it marry already to what you do. Like we're a big trap palms team. So for us, it's really not that difficult. Trap coverage is something that we've kind of evolved over the last couple years, but we've gotten really, really good at it. And again, it's something, if you guys want to talk about that a little later on, we can do that too. Okay. Corner blitz. All right. So this is for us. This is out of our regular nickel package. Okay. This is cowboy. All right. For us. Okay. Call this cowboy. All right. So we're going to show 4 down. We're going to bring a 5th. I like this from the boundary because it's a shorter distance from the boundary corner to run. I don't like it to the field because that's a long way for that kid to go. So if you're getting like run into the boundary, if you're getting hitch into the boundary, an RPO team, the one thing I like about this is the only guy that's really stressed here is this backer to number 3. So you're going to move these guys to the field, right? Again, your 2 down guys, your Jack and your Viper. Again, your Viper is your more athletic kid, so you're going to put him to the field. All right, that corner's shown, and again, we're a big pre-snap show Tampa 2 look, open middle look. Okay, so this corner is going to come. We're going to trap the boundary with the safety. Now, depending on what this dude does, or what kind of kid he is. Like if you're okay with him off the tackle and getting to that boundary half, if you don't think that's a problem for him, let him go. I've had kids that can do that. I've had kids where I've had to line them up over the guard so they can get there. Just depends on your personnel and what you guys can see. All right. And then again, Tampa or trap or palms, because this backer is going to have 3 control. Now, a twist to this is you hit him a couple times with the jack going underneath. What I really like when we talk to Georgia is they'll run this guy upfield so the tackle will kick and follow, and then you bring the corner underneath. So you're giving him like that. This might be your first half, Cowboy. Second half, you might say, hey, listen, you're gonna long stick and get your butt upfield, and now the corner you're gonna come underneath. Okay, but again, make sure you practice it so your kids understand what they're doing. All right, but I like those 3 pressures. I really do. I've got a lot of questions too about like how we call our stuff and what do you guys do. We're a big family-oriented calling defense. So I'll go to this our other presentation on our other. So this is our weather package. So we get to how do you call your stuff? What do you do? So we meet with the kids and kind of ask them like, okay, I'm a big one word. I want one word to mean like 6 or 7 different things. So like here, I don't need to call nickel unless we're starting the drive in it. So if our kids hear rain, lightning, or thunder, the weather package, they know it's nickel. They know we're in nickel. I don't need to call nickel. So that's one less thing I have to say. It's just rain, lightning, or thunder, okay? So rain is a pressure. That's another simulator. You're showing 6-foot Russian 4. I love it anywhere. I love it against the run. I love it against the pass. There's definitive rules to this pressure, okay? So I drew it up against 11 personnel, all right? So the first coaching point is for your guys. So we have our 2 down guys. Okay, our anchor and our viper are 2 stand-up guys. Okay, they're athletes. They're not defensive linemen, all right? Is you want to show the overload away from the strength, okay? So right here, the Y is the strength. So our jack, our end, and our viper, we're showing heavy overload to the weak side, okay? So we want them to change the play. We want them to change the protection to that side, okay? Coverage rules is you're always playing trap away from the overload, Tampa 2 to the overload side. That's like gospel. That's in granite. There's no checks. And that's why I really like this, because the kids know if I'm on the overload side, it's Tampa. If I'm away from the overload side, I'm trapping. Okay? So this anchor is going to go hard off the edge 9. Our end's going to be in a wide 5 going here. All right, our end is the first looper. Our will, okay, he has 3 control. All right, so if there's speed at 3, he can't hold the 0 look too long. All right, but right now there is no 3. The 3 is in the backfield, so he can hold that look. All right, and he's responsible for the B gap here if it's a run. If it's a pass, he's in the hole looking for an over route. Okay, the Mike is reading B to C. He has force help with the trap corner. All right, the Viper's hook to curl. All right, so if you run this from the boundary here, and he's got to get to the field, obviously he has a long way to go to get underneath number 2. All right. So let's say we got a motion here and the Z's here. All right. Well, that's probably speed at 3. So this will still has to now get out, because if now it's 3's vertical, because you're playing Tampa over here, 3's vertical, he has to run with him. Okay. So that's the only thing you really got to drill into that kid's head is if there's speed at 3, you can't hold that 0 look. Now, if there's not, you can hang out, because if it's run, you have that B gap. Okay. But I like that. I like rain. I like rain a lot.
Coach, what's his alignment rule if there is speed at 3?
So if let's say we got let's say for example, let's say they flexed the Y out and they went like a 3-by-1 open look. He's still going to be in a 0, but like if number 3 is a dude, I'm telling him he has to start moving, because he's going to get, because if they run like that cover 3 beater where that guy's going to try to come across the middle, he has to get a good angle on that guy now, and we're hoping the pressure gets there. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, now this one is strictly from the field, okay? This is lightning. All right, so we're showing 4, all right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got a 5-man pressure. The anchor's locked on the Y. We're locked here. We're playing a different kind of trap. Our kids will call it 3 trap because the backside safety's coming. So we're going to move to the boundary. Okay, the Will's going to come here. The Viper's coming here. The Jack's coming here. So we're overloading to the 2-man surface, to the side of the back. That's where you always really want to overload, is to the side of the back. All right, the free safety is going to replace the Viper. He's going to become that hook to curl defender. Now, again, he basically knows that if anything goes out, he doesn't have to worry about it because we're trapping there. This dude's got a boogie. That guy's got to go. So you may have to mess with his alignment because he's the half safety to the field. Okay, but I like it because if you're seeing heavy sprint out, outside zone, quarterback run to anything to the field, this blitz will crush it. They got nowhere to go. Okay, he's your force defender. He should force everything back into the pressure. Okay, and his aiming point is always the outside leg of the deepest back, and he can't just run up field and let it go underneath him. All right, but I love this pressure to the field. I think it's fantastic. The last one in our package. This is our corner. So this is Thunder. All right, now we run this a little bit differently. This is a 6-man pressure, but this is the boundary corner only. Okay, and again, similar to the one I showed you guys before, anchor's going to go hard, and all of a sudden run his butt upfield and bring the corner underneath. They want to throw a hitch into a blitz. I always think, man, it's a high school quarterback. At the end of the day, make him make a perfect throw. If he does, you tip the hat to him, and good for you. We'll line up again. But you want to try to throw a boundary hitch into a blitzing corner. I'll take our and then we have 2 guys over there anyway. And again, we're 3 over 2 here. All right. And again, the only thing is now if we got motion to trips, all right, the Viper would have to take 3 control, and we probably end up checking the palms over here. So that's our weather package. And again, I would get questions about the families and this. So we have a weather package. All our defensive line stunts are names of NFL quarterbacks. It's real quick. Our odd front, our 3-4, all 4 fronts on our 3-4 are AFC East teams. Bills, Pats, Jets, and Finns. It's real quick. And then all our cover 0 pressures are NBA teams. It's fast break. It's all cover 0 stuff. So, find out what your kids like, and however you want to do wristband or whatever you guys want to do. But we found that the most effective. I'll get back to the all right. Hey, Coach, before I get to the 4-man stuff, does anybody have any questions?
I have one, and if you answered this, if you explained this already, maybe I missed it. I apologize. But so your weather package.
Yes.
Okay, so when you call your weather package, it's in nickel personnel. Is there anything else that's a constant for your weather package aside from personnel? Is there anything tying it together where a position could say, hey, I know if it's a weather call, I'm always playing this coverage. I'm always executing this technique, or is it simply a personnel thing?
For us right now, it's simply just a personnel thing.
Got
Because
it.
because we're eventually going to be able to run it in our base stuff, and then we have a 110 package, our Delta package, that we kind of run the same pressures out of our base stuff with. So we'll as we get into the season, we'll incorporate it. But I think just to start, I think just having that and that's the only thing we'll run in nickel for right now are those 3 pressures.
Got it.
I'll get to the 4-down stuff. We've been real successful with our 4-down stuff. We have 15 different pressures out of this mug A-gap look. And I'll show you guys. I got 6 of them to show you. So I'll kind of go through the progression as to how we teach it. And I love it against 10 personnel. I love it against 10 personnel. 11, we'll jump into a little bit of our bear front, and we'll run our Maka pressure, which I'll show you guys also. But against 10 personnel, I really, really like this. So the first thing we teach them is Clemson. So Clemson for us is we have 2 2s, 2 5s, and we obviously have the 2 A-gap backers walked up. When I start teaching the progression, I just have them fire automatically. Left guy goes left, right guy goes right. As the season goes on, I give them a little bit more freedom, allowing them to cross as long as they're communicating and we don't get this on the snap. The ends know, because more than likely we're going to be in some kind of 0 or 1. They're peel contained players. Nothing outside. You have the back swings, you got them. Okay? But that's Clemson. So we start teaching it fire first, and then as we progress, we cross. And I have some film clips I'll show you guys as well. The next part about the next progression is jump. So jump for us, same look. Now all we're doing now is taking the defensive tackles, pinching them in the A gaps, and wrapping the backers in the B gaps. So we go Clemson to jump. Now the third progression, and I thought I had a slide on here, I don't, for us is bull. And bull is just like these guys are bowling, they're pinching. So the ends and the tackles all pinch, and then we wrap the backers to the C gap. So you're still getting a 6-man pressure, but you're just changing the gaps on the offense. So Clemson, jump, and bull are the first 3 that we'll teach. The fourth one we'll teach is called Hawk. And I really like this because it's a simulator. And I'll get up to do this because, again, I thought I had a slide on here, but I don't. So basically in Hawk, we're going to teach the left backer and the right backer to read the center. So if I'm the left inside linebacker and the center steps to me, I'm bailing the right linebacker's going. So the center can't be right. Center can't be right. So wherever the center steps, that backer's going to drop, the other backer's going to fire. Okay, and it's the same thing for the defensive line. Both two techniques are going in B gaps, and the ends are peel contained. But I think we spend 10 minutes a day on Hawk, just getting the kids to line up and do that. And I like Hawk on third and 6 plus, because again you give them all this, and again the thing about it, we'll have 15 in by week 6. So if you're an offensive coordinator, we give you this look, you got to get ready for 15 different pressures. And for me, it's just audibling it. It's just calling what I want by that time, because the kids know all of them. And it's a really good advantage for us because we're giving them the same look. And, what we'll do too if we're facing a good running back is we'll really play robber, but robber in the sense where we'll put our free safety on the running back and, to get an extra hat in the box. So that's something. You guys are facing a really good running back and they run spread and you want to do stuff like this. And you just got to tell your guys, man, I tell my guys, you got to cover for 3. You got to cover 3 seconds. The pressure will get there. You got to cover for 3. All right, let's see. So this is a zone one, okay? This is Blue Jay. It's a 4 under 3 deep. You're going to get edge pressure from your Viper and your strong safety, okay? Your 2 inside backers are going to back out. All right, your two techniques are going to be getting. Now the ends, you really got to work on the ends with this. They got to hit. They're in 5 techniques. They're going to hit the outside shoulder of the tackle. If they read pass, they get to the flat. If it's run, they play run. Okay, if it's a run, they read run, they're playing run. Okay, we're going to press bail. Okay, we're going to show too high. This guy obviously is going to creep because he's coming off the edge first. We're going to press bail into cover 3. The ends are going to get to the flat. Now, I like this pressure against tunnel screen teams because what we'll do is we'll teach our ends. We'll give them landmarks about getting down the line of scrimmage and working back towards the quarterback because, again, if it's this guy, he's going to step up here and then he's going to try to get underneath. So we teach our ends to flatten out and then work their way back this way. But give them cones, give them landmarks so they can see it when you guys are walking through in your practice. Walkthrough for us with all this stuff is so invaluable. I mean, it's gold, to walk through, give them the different motion checks, formations, things like that. But this to me is a good 2nd and 7, 3rd and 7. You've given them some man free stuff, and now you got edge pressure coming hot. And one of these guys might walk into a pick because the quarterback's just gonna let it fly. All right, I don't want to get to that yet. Let me get to okay. This is Michigan. So, Coach Eric, any questions on those A-gap ones? Everybody good?
I'm good.
Okay. All right. So now I'm going to go to a double A-gap, but I'm going to involve the Viper in the pressure. So we're going to go over Michigan, Panther, and Bama. I forgot to tell you guys, another one for us, a double A-gap one with these guys back. We just call it Iowa. So that they're basically crossing, but they're coming from depth. So it's still a 6-man pressure, but you're not walked up in the A-gap. So that for us is Iowa. I like Michigan because it's a variation of the A-gap stuff. Get back here. Come on now. There we go. Okay. So we're going to show double A-gap. Now, the good thing about Michigan, Bama, and Panther, it's always the Viper and the backer away from the Viper. So Viper's here. This backer knows he's going. Bama and Panther, the same thing, and I'll show you guys that in a second. All right. But what we're going to do is it's going to be cover 0. Okay. But I like this against teams that like to run zone read. I like this against teams that like to run speed option, RPO teams. I love this stuff. So we're going to have the Viper is going to come off the edge. He's going to be a, he's not going to be a dive player. He's going to be a quarterback player. Okay. So we're going to get the tackle in the B gap. The end's going to loop into the A gap. This linebacker is going to drop with his eye still inside. This backer's going in the A gap, B gap, and C gap, and we're locked up man straight across. I got a film clip of this, and man, this kid makes a great throw. If our corner does a good job, we probably get a quarterback sack. Here we go. His technique down here is really, really bad. But you guys are going to see that. You're going to see the twist. You see the tackle here. This guy's going to wrap. You're going to see this backer going. This guy coming out. You're going to see the Viper come clean. If he gets his hands on, we have a quarterback sack. This kid makes a hell of a throw. I'll slow it down so you guys can watch. I mean, the pressure is there. And this is just a phenomenal throw by this kid and a great catch. Both feet in. But, again, I'll go back to the pressure. I mean, we get what we want. We get the matchup on the back, wrapping. I mean, we got 3 guys to the quarterback. If the corner can just get his hands on him a little bit better, probably incomplete pass or at least a quarterback sack.
Hey, Coach, a question popped up in the chat. Graham asked, do you have the backer that drops out take the running back, or do the wide blitzers peel?
So it's a good question. We'll do it like a game-by-game basis, depending on who the back is and what they do with them. My thing is that I'd rather keep the wider guy on the running back and have the backer that's not going spy the quarterback in this pressure. The other rules for Bama and Panther, which I'll show you guys in a second, that the backer that's not going will have the running back unless he blocks, and then his responsibilities kind of change. But Graham, to answer your question, I'd rather have the wider guy, like you said, peel and keep the backer's eyes on the quarterback, especially if we're playing somebody that's pretty athletic. All right. So we got Panther. This is easy, guys. Easy stuff. So all Bama and Panther means is where do you want the Viper to come from? So if you call Panther, he's finding the passing strength. So in this case, we face a lot of spread teams down here. I want to send pressure to the passing strength. Okay? So I just call Panther, black, which is our cover 0. The linebackers have to tell the line that, hey, the Viper's here. You guys are going Ringo. So you hear him yelling, Ringo, Ringo, Ringo. The only coaching point here is that this guy has to remember that he needs to get across the center's face because this dude is coming hot. So if you're facing – I like this too against zone read. If you're facing a zone read team, all these guys have dive. He's your quarterback player. Okay? So I know, with the spread stuff, you still see a lot of zone read too. But this versus Panther, Ringo. And again, so this backer that's not going is going to check the back. Okay? If the back goes out, he's going to take the back. If the back blocks, he's going to look to help underneath. The film clip I'm going to show you, our kid does it great. Does a phenomenal job. He gets a pick out of it, and the quarterback doesn't even see him. All right, let's get to that third look. That's the tight. Okay, let me get to this real quick. Okay, so we're going to have, let me back this up. Okay, so we call Panther. Here's our Viper down here. Okay, our Viper, so they hear Panther. All right, now he's going to start moving. You're going to see the secondary adjust. Okay, this linebacker's going. This guy's going to check the back. So they hear Panther. I mean, he could have done some damage to this quarterback. I'm glad he held up. Would have been a 15-yard, but he just comes clean. Holds up. Kid does a great job. Okay, but he checked the back. And I'll show you guys the tight copy as well. Check the back. Boom. Great job. Quarterback didn't even see him. Oh, you know what? I want to show you guys a tight copy because our inside linebacker actually does a pretty good job of adjusting because our defensive tackle forgot to go across. But you're going to see, so he should be here. This guy should be coming across the center's face because this linebacker's coming here. All right, but Gene does a real good job of getting to green grass and not running into the back of Manny here. Does a really, really good job. You can see 12. 12 is going to look at the running back. The running back's going to block. Checks the running back. Okay, now the back's blocking. Now he gets underneath. Boom, right there. Quarterback didn't even see him. Some good stuff right there. Okay. Now, Bama's the same exact blitz, except you're sending the Viper to the back. He's coming to the back. So here, this for us would be Bama lucky. So just Bama black for us, okay? And C gap, B gap, he now has to get across the center's face. He's wrapping. He's here. He's here. And now, again, depending on what kind of kid you guys have, I've had kids that he can line up in a 3 technique and get there. I've had kids that I had to put them in a 0 to get across center space just because they can't move. So it all depends on what your personnel is. But it's the same blitz. It's just where do you want to send the pressure from? You want to send it to the passing strength. You want to send it to the back. It's been really, really good for us. Gives our offense fits all the time. I want to show you guys. All right, where's that clip here? Bama. Where's that interception? Oh, that's not it. Gotta find the. What's that? Yep. Okay. I've been showing you guys a lot of stuff against like 10 personnel. So this is our goal line stuff. I'll go to the tight shot first. So this is like our kind of our bastardized bear. So what we'll do is, so to the tight end side, so tight end's here. So we have a wide 9. We put our more athletic linebacker. He's in a 7 locked up on the tight end. These 2 guys are going B gaps. These guys are crossing in the A gaps. We got edge pressure. We got the 9 technique here. Now he's got the peel. So this guy peels and he picks him up and does a great job. But I'll show you the end zone shot first, and then I'll get you guys to the wider shot so you can see. Kid does a great job on the peel here, man.
And your 7 technique is following tight end if it's a pass situation?
Coach it. I tell him your job is to just beat the ever-loving you-know-what out of that kid.
Okay, and he's a defensive end?
No, that's the 7 technique is a linebacker.
Got it.
So we'll have a wide, and you can see it better here on this shot. So we got the wide 9. We got him in a 7. We got the 2 2s. We got this. Now this guy's in a 4, okay, because he wants to occupy this tackle because if this guy doesn't go out, we now have double edge pressure. All right, but because he goes out, Rudy's got to take him now because that's his rule. He's the peeler. Slow it down here. This kid played out of his mind. We had 3 red zone picks this game. He played out of his mind. One of those senior kids that just clicked game 6. I mean, does a hell of a job. Yeah, that was some good stuff. I'll show you guys too our defensive line stuff out of our double A gap. So here's the Iowa, I think. Is this Iowa? Now here's yep. All right, hold on a second. So now again, Iowa is Clemson, but you're not up in the A gap. You're back and you're crossing. Okay. So again, we got the 5, the B gap, and then these guys are going to cross, and we're playing 2 read here, and we're playing palms here to this side, to the H side. If somebody's coming clean, they got 5 to block, and you're sending 6. We get a fumble. The defensive lineman almost lives the dream. I told him if there was a pizza in the end zone, he would have made it. Okay, that's Iowa. That's also a one to build off with the A-gap stuff. Let's see this one right here. Okay, so now here's another one of the double A-gap. Now so we called our line movements Pats and Jets. So Pats just meant that the end was going first, the tackle was looping, Jets was the opposite. But we're simulating, we're showing 6 and only rushing 4. So kind of like Blue Jay, you're getting the guys out, but you're playing coverage and you're moving the line, you're changing the picture on the offensive lineman. It was a real good job getting flat. I mean, we did that kid's going to Kentucky, number 21. But the D-line does a great job dropping, getting flat. So I mean that's a good pressure there. Coach Eric, you want me to get into the 3-down stuff?
Sounds good to me.
Okay, giddy up. All right, so this is the stuff that we ran. You know what I can do? I can pull this up right here. If you guys want to watch the game, I don't have it on Huddle. You can search this 2020 International Bowl. This is the 3 safety stuff that we ran. Let me turn this volume off. I don't feel like listening to these guys talk. And we'll get an ad as per the usual. Okay, I'll pause this and we'll come back to it. So this is a 3 safety 3-man RPO stuff that we ran in January. Iowa State runs it really, really well. Northern Iowa does as well. The only kryptonite to this defense, to be honest with you, is 12 personnel. If this is something you guys want to invest in, I would highly suggest getting a plan for 12 personnel because there are just too many gaps. If you watch the Notre Dame-Iowa State bowl game, you find out when Notre Dame finally got into 12 personnel and was running inside zone, that's when they were having a lot of success running the ball against Iowa State. So, alignment-wise, one of the things that we had to do because we were – and you guys will see in the film, I mean, we were extremely undersized compared to the U.S. team is we played a 0 and 2 4s and either moved away from the back or moved to the Y, whether he was on the ball or off the ball. Gave our kids definitive rules because we couldn't sit because Iowa State's rule is if it's 10 personnel, back is offset. There were 0 and 2 4s. Back goes into pistol, then they go to 2 4 eyes. If there's a Y on or off the ball, then they go to 2 5s. I just didn't feel confident that we would be able to withstand the size difference inside, and that's kind of why we moved all the time. But this is a boundary corner pressure out of the 3-man. This was the original Thunder before we implemented into our nickel package. So we wanted to show double backers walked up. The problem is in Texas and with the international rules, and Scott knows this, is that if you break the defensive lineman's ankles, you're considered in the tackle box, so they can cut you. So I didn't want our guys getting cut. So when I show you guys the clip, you're going to see us coming from depth, okay? But we're coming from the boundary, and I'll show you guys this clip. We're trapping it with the safety. Now, if you guys are going to invest in this in the offseason, your 3 best players have to be your rover, your viper, and your boundary safety. Because think about it. If you have a team on the hash and they want to throw a deep ball to the field, I mean, all that kid's got to be able to do is knock the damn ball down. They're FIB for a reason. So this blitz, we're going to move everybody to the field. This backer has B-gap responsibility. We're 3 over 2. We're playing Tampa now. Again, we played no man coverage out of this 3-down stuff. So the Vipers rule was you're always going to the formation except if we call thunder. So he heard thunder, he knew he was automatically going to the field. Otherwise, if there was trips in the boundary, he was going there. Okay. The Rovers rule is always find number 3. Okay, unless we have them deep half, deep middle, and I'll go through the pressure package with you guys too. But to the Vipers side, we're always playing Tampa 2 unless we're sending him, and I'll show you guys that pressure in a second. But again, this is another great blitz. People want to throw into the boundary. I'll show you guys the clip when they try to throw a hitch into the boundary. We tackled them. The boundary safety kid tackled them for a 1-yard gain. But it's a great pressure. So that's thunder. Now fire, we're going to play press bail 3. We call it poach. We're going to start out in the 2 high look. Okay, now balanced formation, 2x2. Ball in the middle of the field, right-handed quarterback. Viper's going to go to the left. Okay, Rover's going to line up over number 3, which is the back. All right. So on the snap, now fire, there's I. So that means the pressure is coming inside. I for fire. So the ends know that they're peel contained. The nose is always going left. This backer knows he's responsible for the backside A gap. Okay. We're inverting the safeties. They're coming down and collisioning number 2. They're force flat defenders. The corners are out, bailing in the thirds. The rover becomes your free safety. So that's fire for us. It was fire, poach. The next one is smoke. Smoke. Oh, pressure's coming from the outside. Okay. The ends now know that they're pinching. The nose is going left. The gap doesn't change for this guy. Our safeties are inverting. Okay. The rover's coming to the middle. We're bailing in the thirds. And again, this backer that's not going, let's say, for example, we got motion to trips. He has 3 control. So he has to know, and that's something you got to coach him up on. Hey, man, if they get motion to trips, you got 3. Okay. Here's a great. I love this. We didn't get to run this in the game. I wish we did, man. I don't know, man. Scott, I kind of puckered up a little bit. I should have called this like in the second or third quarter, man. I don't know. But this is if you want to send your rover. Okay, so you're gonna double A gap look them. Okay. Now this end is your flat defender. The safety away from the Viper becomes your free. Your press bail in the corners. This guy I have him drawn up here. He should really sit in his hook because the Viper's replacing the rover. Okay. You have your end as your peel contain, your tackle as your peel contain, your double A gap pressure. Now the rover's going to go 1,001, 1,002, and then hit it. Now, but you have to tell him is just don't run into the back of somebody because, in practice, he may run and hit the same gap every time. Hell, in a game, it may be the opposite side B gap. He has to, the first green grass he sees, that's what he has to hit. Okay. But I like this. I wish I would have called it so I could show you guys, but Thunder was working good. The corner blitz was working good. So I gave the a DB guy by trade. I gave the DB some love. Now against empty, I like this. 6-man pressure. Okay. Trapper invert on this side, or you can play man. Depends on the kind of guys you have. All right. We're going to go contain, Ringo, overload this side. Viper's coming. All right. And now you have the rover can have 3 control. You can play palms. You can play whatever you want to play. Just depends on the personnel you have, guys. I mean, when I was in Jersey, the only time I really played man is down inside the 20. Down here, I'm blessed to have, 3 dudes that are going to get their college paid for. And it just what your personnel can do. You can play invert 2. If the uncovered slot scares you, invert this safety down and then back this corner off, play the half. And that's really the other adjustment that we would make based off to the uncovered slot side. We'd have the corner make the call based on the width. So he'd either trap it or invert it, depending on how wide that guy was, just to play it safe. And again, you're sending 6, they got 5. So you're going to get there. Just make the tackle. Otherwise, some of these bands going to be playing. It ain't going to be yours, unfortunately.
Coach, do you have multiple checks to empty, or do you just have, like, they line up and empty, this is what we run?
Scott, it's funny you say that because that's in chapter 2 of the new book coming out. No, we do. So for us, it's why are they in empty? What are they trying to do? Are they trying to spread you out to run the quarterback? Are they trying to get the ball off quick? So we'll have different pressure looks, but we'll also have one where we call it Tiger, where we'll line up in our 6-man pressure look and only send 2 D linemen and everybody else drops when we play coverage. So it's just based off of what they're trying to do. And it's anything, right? It's like, why is this team spreading me out? Why are they in 3-by-1 open? Are they trying to get a numbers game in the box, or are they really trying to get the ball out of the perimeter? But yeah, no, we'll have 3 checks to empty out of the same look. And another reason I really like this defense, guys, is pre-snap. Your box seems so light, but I'll show you guys now on the video. I'll go through the first drive. I mean, you guys are going to see the size difference. I mean, they're gigantic. And we scrimmaged them on a Monday night, and we gave them all the 4-down pressure stuff, so they thought they were getting like cover 1 and cover 0, and we came out in this and we threw for a loop. I think our biggest D lineman was number 17. This kid right here, he was about 6'3" and change. So I'll go through the first drive. I'll show you guys the alignment and why I really like it against the spread teams in the RPO. Okay, so right now they're in 11 personnel. Okay, so right now we're 0 and 2 4s. These guys, they're making we used Japanese right and left. So right now they're making a Miggy call. Miggy is left. I learned a bunch of Japanese that week. So they're making a Miggy call. All right. So the Vipers to the formation. So really, okay, it's 2-by-2. So this is our trap side. This is our Tampa side. And the Rover is 8 yards over the running back. Okay, he slow plays inside zone to the quarterback pulling it, but he has 2 force defenders out here. And the great thing about this is the Viper can play inside leverage on number 2 because he has a Tampa 2 corner sitting outside of him. So he can be more. So pre-snap right now, if you're an offensive coordinator, you're going, oh, they got a 5-man box. Wait till the ball is snapped. Six, 7, and then here comes the Rover. You'll see number 3 coming in right here. So pre-snap 5, post-snap 8. That's why I really like it. So that's a 3-yard gain. So now it's 2nd and 7. I'd sign up for that any day, especially against these cats. 21's got an offer to Michigan. The quarterback played in the 6A state final as a freshman in Texas in front of 47,000 people in this stadium. It's crazy. Okay, so now detach Y, all right? So now we're going Ringo. We're going to go right, and we're 4 over 3. Tampa corner, Viper, deep pass safety, Rover's over him. This is our trap side, okay? So now he reads run. He's going to add late to the box. The thing, if you guys are going to go to trap, is make sure you stress to your trap corners. This was tough for us. I mean, Scott knows because he's coaching the game before. But, like, you have such a limited amount of practice time to try to teach these kids trap coverage and in a different language in 7 days was pretty crazy. But get them to float underneath the slant and then add late to the box. That's kind of the one pretty big coaching point here. So we're going to go right, but you're going to see right here. Split zone. Boom. 2.5-yard gain. Okay, 3rd and 4. Yeah, they get to 10 personnel here. They get to 10 personnel here. They're running around. We'd give them so much man. They killed us with a swing pass in our scrimmage. And we weren't on man in this play. Okay, so 3-by-1 open. Trap side here. These guys are going to go lucky because they're going away from the back, and we're 4 over 3. So if we got that little RPO hitch to 3, the rover's right there. He's going to pick it off, or he's going to make a tackle for a yard gain. Okay. But again, the thing is, if you're not going to pressure, you have 8 in coverage. So where are they going to throw the ball? You know, and again, RPO teams, they don't want to hand the ball off. They want to fake it and get the ball out on the perimeter to their athletes. To make an RPO team hand the ball off goes against everything that they want to do in RPO and offense. They try to throw a swing pass right into that Tampa corner. That kid comes up 5'7", 165 pounds, that kid. Played his tail off. Now they're punting from their own end zone. Their offense goes down and scores next play. I'll show you guys. Where's the Thunder? It's up. Let's see here. Nope, back here. Yeah, you gotta find it. Here we go. Probably we're gonna get an ad in 5, 4, 3, 2. Here we go. What do you think, Ford, Coach Taylor? What are we thinking, Ford or Chevy ad here? Ah, Ford ad. Should have played the lottery tonight. Okay, so this is going to be Thunder coming from the boundary, and this is the last 2 plays. This won us the game, getting them in 2nd and long, and then they end up throwing a pick the next play. So okay, so 2-by-2. All right, so now we're going away from the back. Okay, now Thunder's coming. So now, all right, we're now going to go to the field. He's going to the field. He needs to get across the center space. He's in the B gap. This guy misses his gap. He has 3 control. He's trapping the boundary. He's the deep half safety, and we're 3 over 2 here. We're playing Tampa here. Okay. See this corner come hot right here. Get pressure down that. Throw a hitch. Look at. Sign me up. Freaking 2nd and 9. You know, you want to throw or run to the boundary. Like I said, it's high school. At the end of the day, they're high school quarterbacks, guys. And these 2 were pretty good. Now we don't pressure at all, and now we got 8 in coverage. We get sprint out. We get sent the Viper on secondary coverage. Got 8 in coverage, man. Pick.